Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host Evan Teague. With me, like always, is Noah Bailey. I don't know why there's been so much Spider-Man 3 news recently. Maybe there's just nothing else going on, so this is just the thing that's being fast-tracked. I don't know. But we've gotten a new rumor, and this has been rumor for a while now, but this one actually has credibility. A new rumor that both Andrew Garfield and Toby Maguire have apparently at least been in talks to literally reprise their characters
The
in
correct usage of the word.
reprise their roles as their versions of Peter Parker for Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure. I don't think has anything like this ever been done in a movie? Like I know you have like cartoons and stuff where this happens, but like I don't think I've ever seen this in like a huge blockbuster.
Let me think. There have been times when like it's a remake or reboot of a franchise, and then those same actors come back to play like cameo or
Right.
like play sometimes just like be background characters, just have like one line, like in the 2016 Ghostbusters movies, the original Ghostbusters and Sigourney
Right.
Weaver.
That is
They didn't
true.
play their characters, but they were in the movie for a hot second.
Right.
Um, but as far as playing their original character in a significant role, I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'm sure there is one, but I can't
Yeah,
think of one.
probably, but like, yeah, it's like because like you see promotions where it's like even like the Baywatch remake had like
Right.
David Hasselhoff for a second, but like it
Mm.
wasn't like he was just kind of a throwaway character, you know. It's
Yeah,
not like
Pamela Anderson. It was a hilarious. I kind of hate that movie, but it's also kind of genius in how bad it is, but like it's intentionally bad. So it's
yeah,
weird.
I think
Like
yeah,
the last 5 minutes of the movie is literally just Pamela Anderson slow running.
how do they do that? It's just so great, and like I think that's like I know a lot of the times like we talked about, you love it when it's so bad it's good. That's like one of the only movies that I really enjoy
Nice.
because of how bad it is. It's just like it knows off the top of the head. It's like how stupid it is. They make all these references to like outside, like the one where he calls Zac Efron, "Hey, what's up, High School Musical?" And like
Uh,
the theater lost
yep.
it. Just like oh yeah. School Musical. Oh, that was a good. Yeah, it was a very good throw because we had like zero expectations
Mm.
and it was actually a really good laugh. But yeah, as far as like characters coming back, that doesn't happen a ton, but like like I don't know, I think I can think about all the time in like cartoons and stuff
Oh
where
yeah.
like they'll bring like they'll like, oh, they got Adam West to voice this other character to help the Kevin Conroy Batman or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, like stuff like that. It's like it's cool but like I feel like having it in a movie, especially with how notable of a character Spider-Man, like everyone's seen at least one of the Toby movies. You know,
Mm.
you kind of at least know about the amazing Spider. They're not as good, but like you still know you're Spider-Man. Like
Not as
know.
good. That's putting it lightly.
I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice.
And
I'm
again,
just,
like we'll go more into exactly our feelings on this in a second, but like I need to put it out there: the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies are not his fault. He is not the reason the movies are bad. I think it's just poor directing, and I think it's just I don't know. I feel like he did the best with what he was given. I don't. I think he wasn't. For as I can tell, he wasn't really allowed to have much creative control over that character, at least as much as Toby or
mhm.
Tom Holland have. So I think if it was his way, he would have played it a little different. But if if they do actually come back for Spider-Man 3, I want them to play an older Spider-Man in the way they would. I want him to play an older Spider-Man in the way that he would want to, because I feel like in Amazing Spider-Man, he was playing Spider-Man in the way that like I feel Spider-Man should be played if he's been doing this for years. Like if he's already in
Mm.
his 20s, sure, be the cocky, quippy, you know, uh, like being a little reckless with your
Over.
powers just because you can. Like that's fine. But when you're literally just starting out and using your powers to beat up random bullies and like threatening people, like it just it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's very much kind of like, and I think they were trying to go for just a contrasting style because we already saw with the Toby ones, he's like very careful with his powers and having to figure it out, even
Mm,
multiple movies later. And like, I think they just were like, okay, we don't want to do the same thing with different people. Let's try to go for a totally different
yeah.
side of it and try to pretty much just rebrand his personality, which is kind of not
Yeah. It didn't
great,
work
but
out as well as they were hoping for.
yeah, but it happens.
Do you think this would have happened? Or like, let's go into discussion completely assuming this is real. Just assuming it's real, just because I think it's more fun.
Yeah.
Do you think bringing back Toby Maguire and Andrew Garfield in for Spider-Man, do you think that would have happened if Michael Keaton wasn't going to be in the Flashpoint movie as Batman?
I think so because I know that is like a good reason behind like because they're trying to really all right, well, they're gonna do this. Let's stick it to them one better, all that stuff.
Mm,
But also, I think that this is one of those things that the potential's kind of always been there because
yeah,
Spider-Man's
yeah.
one of those movies that like every 5, 10 years we're getting another one. So it's like, and a lot of the people who enjoy Spider-Man now, like you and me, grew up with we grew up with the Raimi Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man was also around because why not?
Hmm.
And like I think this was an idea, and especially with like ideas like Into the Spider Verse a few years ago. You've got the Miles Morales in the game now, so even though it's a different Spider Man, it's still like the idea of multiple Spider Men simultaneously has kind of already been thrown around.
Yeah, not to
Multiverse
mention
talking the
Sam Raimi making Multiverse of Madness.
exactly, and everyone says Sam Raimi. It's like, oh, with Sam Raimi, he was with those Toby and Maguire Spider movies. Like, we know, like we remember.
Yeah.
But,
You
like,
people will shut up
so,
about it. We know Sam Raimi made the
right.
best Spider-Man movie. We get it. You
Right,
can
we know,
stop.
and like that's the thing. It's like I feel like with all that kind of just mixed around, a lot of speculation. At some point, they were kind of like, "All right, guys,
Let's do it.
could we do this? And if we did, how awesome would it be?" And then they're like, and I think after it's kind of like how they say it's like if enough people on the outside are talking about something, eventually someone on the inside is going to bring it into the bring it
Yeah.
in. You know what I'm saying? So it's I think it started out as just a night wild idea, but it could potentially they were like, you know what? Let's do this. Why
Mm-hmm.
not? Because they can. And like you said, this hasn't been done on this scale, to our knowledge, if not recently, maybe not ever. I don't know, but I
Mm,
feel like this would be the biggest, conglomeration of Spider-Man in a real live action movie probably ever,
yeah.
definitely. So
And there is always a possibility that they could just exist in an after credit scene, similar to how Doctor Strange could just be the after credit scene. Like there's no concrete details of how much involvement any of these people are going to have in this movie. It's very possible they could be the driving factor of the entire movie. Like, I know a couple weeks ago when we were talking about Doctor Strange being in it, you mentioned like the first third or so he might be running from the police or whatever, or running from some new villain, and then he goes to Doctor Strange to try to fix it. Doctor Strange trying to fix it, bringing in like in trying to fix it, either accidentally or intentionally, brings in these other Spider-Man dimensions here, and like eventually, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire chase their villains into this dimension, and they have to all save it together. Like that just sounds like a cool concept. Yeah.
hmm yeah, that just sounds fun. And like, new not like the name how every year the name of the next Spider-Man movie is like, oh, it's Home something. We thought it was gonna be Home Front, we thought it was gonna be that. Now I've heard like the best one I've heard is Spider-Man Home Worlds so far is the best
Mm,
one I've heard. That makes
okay.
me think,
Oh, well.
okay, this could be awesome. But
Yeah.
there's also like I
Like
forgot there was
home,
another
like
one I thought was pretty good.
homesick, home school,
Yeah.
home.
Relevant. Question: do you think they will like do anything with that? Like, do you think because of how like COVID, do you think they'll be like, yeah, we had that whole bit? Like, you think they'll be relevant in the movie, or they're just gonna kind of ignore it?
in in the MCU.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, that might be cute. It would be a little awkward considering the universe is currently set in I think 2023. There was a 5 year
that's
skip.
true.
there will definitely, like in movies outside of the MCU, there will 100% be COVID jokes sprinkled in throughout movies for the next like 5 years at least. That's absolutely going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in like one of the Guardians or even Thor or maybe even Spider-Man, they might just like throw one joke in there, just like maybe like an
Like,
ad-lib joke that they did. Yeah.
how am I just supposed to stay home for months at a time?
Yeah.
What's that camera?
Like if Ant-Man and the Wasp had come out now, because the first half of the movie is him being quarantined or
Right,
having to
house
stay
arrest.
home for 2 years. Like they absolutely would have leaned into that a little more, but
That would have been pretty good. Oh man, but yeah, I didn't even think about it. That's going to be the new running gag for every movie, probably.
yeah.
But
So
probably not going.
my one tiny hang up with the idea of Toby Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming in this movie. My one hang up is that I fear it might be a little too early, especially considering, like I said before, this Spider-Man's story arc hasn't finished yet. He spent the entire last movie trying to figure out who he is without Iron Man's help, and then eventually becoming his own hero. But now his story is going to be not interrupted, but at least like co-opted by two already established Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. It might be a little muddy. I don't know. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I see your point. It's kind of like his arcs are going to get hijacked, which is kind of a thing for the third movie. But I feel like at this stage, it's interesting if it's going to get hijacked by characters that are not even from this universe. So like that would be kind of a bit much. But I guess it depends on how they're planning on other ways utilizing him, because he does have because he is supposed to be in other movies going forward. So.
Yeah.
That maybe they could use like an Avengers movie or something else to like further flesh out Spider-Man and establish. Maybe someone goes to Spider-Man for help, and he's kind of like, oh yeah, I guess I am kind of at that level now.
Yeah, like he's absolutely going to be at the forefront of the new Avengers, like at least like on the ground with like if Captain Marvel might be the new leader, but he'll be like kind of at the forefront of like the Earth faction at least. I don't know,
Right.
But I don't know, for his Spider-Man 3, I feel doesn't necessarily need. He doesn't really. I don't know. I need to see it. I need to see in what form this reprisal actually takes, because as of right now, I'm just assuming it'll be an after credit scene. Like whatever happened with Doctor Strange will happen in the movie. Maybe a couple of new villains will show up from other dimensions for whatever reason. And then at the very end of the movie, at the after credit scene, Toby Maguire and Andrew Garfield just kind of show up in this world, in the movie. I don't know. And then they'll probably also be in Multiverse of Madness, because I think that just makes sense.
So cool. Do you think because we have J.K. Simmons as JJ, do you think that could have anything to do with anything going on, interconnected? I'm reaching just because I can.
J.K. Simmons was something we completely forgot to bring up when we were talking about Electro last time. How my theory about different characters being like different actors playing these characters in every different dimension. J.K. Simmons was, as far as I remember, wasn't even in, or at least his we didn't see him in the Andrew Garfield version. It could just be that J.K. Simmons just plays JJ in every dimension, so that makes sense.
Yeah, why not? So iconic.
Toby Maguire could make a clip about like how much worse he is in this dimension.
He's like, at least back. He's like, well, in my world, at least you have to see him on the TV all the time.
Yeah.
But he did have hair, so there's that. Oh, that was...
This type of thing, it's kind of funny. This is gonna sound weird, but I feel like if Disney Marvel had complete control over the Spider-Man franchise, if they owned the movie rights to Spider-Man, I don't think this could happen. I don't think this would happen under them. I feel this could only happen because this is technically a Sony movie.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
But do you think that might be the reason they're deciding, okay, well, if we have to make it a Sony, we're going to go big since it's Sony?
Could be it. Yeah. I didn't really, like, oh, that's so, that, like, it's fan service to the fans, and Sony knows that like, you know, after the ordeal that happened last year, people kind of sided with Disney more than Sony, so they want to give fans what they want. But also, if they do this, there's no possible way that you could say that this isn't a Sony movie. You might be in the MCU, but it is still our property.
That could be a smart play by Sony, like to kind of keep that like relevance in this property as well. It's kind of like, hey, you know, they may have all the mark, but hey, Spider-Man, you know, still ours. Yeah, we share it, but you know, this is our thing. And
that could also give them more leverage over Marvel if Disney wanted to use Toby Maguire or Andrew Garfield in future MCU movies. They might require a bigger cut, you know? I don't know.
Sony secretly tries to claw their way back in.
And it would work because fans would love it. So, like, all of the parties would benefit, but Sony would benefit a little more.
Right, see, but that's the difference.
Even though, like, Disney technically currently has the upper hand because they are getting a bigger cut of the movie profits, but, like, yeah, that's... Yeah.
That'd be so great. Yeah, but no, I think if that is the case, good play by Sony just to, like, kind of keep one hand on the wheel, kind of.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at this point, it was kind of just like, hey, this is your property, but we get, you know, basically all the credit, all the all the money this makes, but you know, we'll put your name on it too. It's like, yeah, and it's kind of like, oh, all right, but nah.
One more thing. Oh, so we might not have to wait too long in order to see what form this collaboration takes, because the first look of this movie is scheduled for December 2020.
Okay,
we'll see if that stays. We'll see if that actually happens. How much of a first look it'll be. If it'll just be concept art. If it'll be like pre-production footage.
Because I mean, have they even started shooting yet?
I think they either just started or are planning to start at the end of the month. So, like, by end of October, I think they're starting to. So, yeah, I remember seeing October 2020. I don't remember what the date was, so they either just started or about to start.
Okay. Still, yeah. So it probably won't be too much, but we could get, you know, something from it that could be like, oh, this is confirmed, or this isn't confirmed. Because has anything been officially confirmed, or is this just like
it's just
more and more credible sources?
A lot of rumors. Like some people, apparently one guy from Toby Maguire's PR firm has not deconfirmed it. You know, one of those things like that. It's like one of those like anything is possible, wink wink nudge nudge type things.
yeah. And that could be all part of the, like, you know, as Marvel, we're not allowed to condone whether or not said actor or person will be in said project, or so that could be a thing. Or also it could just be, you know, trying to get Toby Maguire back into the world. Yeah. So who knows?
It is kind of crazy how Toby Maguire and Andrew Garfield, to an extent, more so Toby Maguire, as an actor, just kind of fell off. I don't know if he didn't want to do acting more, or if he just kind of couldn't get bigger roles. But
I don't know, yeah. Because, like, the only movie, like, other than Spider-Man, I think The Great Gatsby's, like, the only movie I think I can remember him being in.
He was in the opening bit of Tropic Thunder.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was in one of those fake movie trailers, which that movie is so interesting. It's so interesting. I'm not going to go into it, but it's so... I wish I, like... if I could go back and if like me now could go back in time, I would absolutely like erase my mind of like what I know about it and go, but like know that I have to see it in theaters because it would be so funny to like actually be in a movie theater watching the movie trailers happen, and then the movie trailers keep going, but the movie trailers are the actual movie. Like that's so funny and clever, and like you don't realize it, and then just seamlessly transition into the movie. Like that's I want more people to do stuff like that.
It's wild. Oh man, that would be interesting. But like, yeah, it's just weird how like a lot of people, and it's like I feel like a lot of like I think. Do you think he's over from like that like one character, the only character people see him as, and he can't do other stuff?
It probably is a lot of that. Whereas Andrew Garfield, people never really saw him as Peter Parker anyway, so like he could get away with doing other stuff. But yeah, Toby Maguire, he like. Yeah, he is Peter Parker. It might be a little hard for him to. Yeah, that's almost definitely it.
Yeah, I'm looking into other movies that like Andrew Garfield was in, and like most of these, any ones past like 2014, I don't think I've ever heard of.
Same with like Kristen Dunst. She was
yeah, exactly.
A couple of big-ish comedies back in like the early 2010s, and then like one movie every 2 years since, and it's just not much. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but James Franco, he's still doing stuff. But,
yeah.
Which it's so crazy. Like that, Spider-Man's the first movie I saw James Franco because like all his other roles are so different from that role. And it's like I see him in anything else, and I'm just like, this is the guy. Like, it just doesn't. I can't take him seriously anymore. It's so weird, but it's hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. I hate when that happens to actors, especially like good actors, and that's like you do a role for so long, or it's so you're like so pinned to this thing that's like everything else is like they can't unsee you. It's like I don't know, man. It's kind of wild. But.
Yeah, like the MCU has done such a great job at taking actors, making them big, and then some of them like Robert Downey Jr. He will be Iron Man forever, but he'll have a lucrative career after this. Like I don't know if they can necessarily sell Iron Man's in this movie as the only selling point, like they did with Doolittle. That was a disaster. That wasn't his fault. but like people like Chris Hemsworth, he wasn't really that big of a deal at all before the first Thor came out, and then he's kind of one of the biggest actors out there. So big that movie Cabin in the Woods, it was actually done filming back in 2009, but they shelved it for 2 years because they knew that he was going to be Thor. So like, let's see how this goes. So then he became Thor, and then they released it 2 years later when he was big. So the movie got big.
Yeah, well, that's actually kind of smart. Yeah, because like we talked about, timing is everything. So yeah, that's smart. Let one of your main characters blow up in a different movie, and then use that to kind of like back, which can sometimes work, definitely.
Yeah,
but yeah, because I don't. Well, they tried to do that with that Men in Black reboot.
No. What they did was they took these two actors who were together in a superhero movie, put them in a completely different setting, but then tried to make another superhero movie.
Yeah. Dude,
oh my goodness.
Oh gosh, like I was excited because like I loved Men in Black growing up. Like Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones were like the best, and like I loved. And I was like, oh, they're making a new Men in Black movie, and I was like, okay, cool. Tessa Thompson, Chris Hemsworth, yeah, they can do stuff. This will be funny.
And Liam Neeson, like that's a winning combo, great. But they just.
Oh man, like it was just like every joke was flat. It was heartbreaking. I was like, this is cringe.
He picked up a tiny hammer. It played the first 3 notes of the Avengers theme, then he threw it. Like that's. So low-hanging fruit and stupid. Like we know that's Thor. You don't need to do that.
Oh man, it was so bad, and like and see that's where you need a cameo from like the original people or just
Yes.
like something more. They had a photo or something, and I know they're supposed to be in like England and like obviously they're in New York in the original, but like you could have done something there. Like I
Yeah.
don't know.
I
It
know
was
Will
just
Smith is busy, but like I don't know. I feel like busy making Gemini Man, but like
oh yeah. Hey, I mean, it's Will Smith is making movies still. He's doing his thing, but
yeah.
like I guess they could have done something. I don't know, but eh,
Yeah,
who
apparently
knows?
early 2000 superhero movies, aside from Hugh Jackman, just kind of didn't really get you much.
Yeah,
Like you don't
yeah,
like Halle Berry. Also, like I think she was already kind of ish big-ish
yeah.
when
I mean, she was already
she was Storm.
doing fine. So like, yeah, it's like, but like a lot of other people who were like kind of unknown before that kind of stayed unknown. I
Yeah,
mean,
John Marston, who played Cyclops, he does stuff. He's in that Sonic movie. He does a lot of comedies, but it's nothing like super serious.
yeah,
Yeah. Which John Marston is
like,
another one of those actors that like he was asked point blank, "Hey, would you want to reprise your role as Cyclops?" And he's like, "Sure, I will." I'm not going to say no to being in the MCU. And headlines: John Marston wants to be in the MCU and reprise his character. I'm like, obviously, this isn't a news
like,
story.
everyone wants to be in the MCU right now.
Like it would be literally the dumbest thing for him to say no. If given the chance, I would
Right?
not want to come back as a favorite character I've ever played. That's no.
Yeah,
Especially like
I'm okay with turning down a potentially $1 billion franchise.
mm-hmm.
I think I'm good. Which I mean, I'm not saying it never happens, but like, come on, you could have.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But
Eh.
here we are. What else?
So yeah, well,
Yeah.
we'll see some kind of first look of Spider-Man 3 in December, maybe, assuming it doesn't get delayed or whatever.
Please no. We need something else
Mm.
going on.
Like there's still a pretty good chance that Wonder Woman can easily get delayed. So like if we just get just 2 minutes of some superhero thing in 2020, please. Like yeah, WandaVision's gonna be great, but like I want to see it on the big screen. I want to see it up there.
Seriously, I'll take it. But
So one more little bit of Disney news. It's already been confirmed that The Mandalorian season 3 is happening and will begin
nice.
filming by the end of the year.
Wow.
So
All right.
yeah,
Cool. We need. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. This is good. Like, season 2 is what, 2 weeks away ish.
next Friday. Yeah,
Next Friday. Okay.
I think.
So yeah. Wait. Yeah. Get that going. It's gonna be great because it's great. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And yeah, season 3. Let's go.
Yeah, like they're so confident they made a good thing, so they're just like, let's keep making more of this good thing. And like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
and I
good
will keep
thing.
watching more of this good thing.
Yeah.
I will be there.
Like, does it have Baby Yoda? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Like the Mando died. Is Baby Yoda still there? Yes. Okay then. I will be there.
It can still be called the Mandalorian, but as long as it has the Baby Yoda in it, who cares?
Baby Yoda just has the hat helmet.
Oh, that'd be so. That'd be adorable.
I know. It does not matter.
In other nerd news, Michael B. Jordan is apparently set to produce the Static Shock movie.
I did see this. And at first I thought he was going to play Static Shock, but then it says producer. Which again, not against producing, because as long as somebody's doing it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but I was like, oh, all right, cool. Because, yeah, this is one of those characters that, like, was a very, for the time, like, during that, like, mid-2000s Cartoon Network Saturday morning cartoon era-ish, was a very solid character.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I'd love to bring that back. They did a little bit with Young Justice in season 2, but...
Season 3?
And a little bit season 3, but not really.
Was he in
I
season
think
2?
he is in season 3 a little bit.
Was he in season 2? I don't...
It's like... I think like season 2 is like he's like one of the kids who like gets experimented on and gets powers.
Right. So then
But in season 3 he actually
he actually became Static in season 3.
right.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, I really like this character in general. I'm interested to see how they go about it. And like, yes, more
Sure.
superheroes.
And producer doesn't mean much. You're really just footing the bill. You can maybe have creative control over a couple of things. Like it's not as big of a deal as directing it, but like
Yeah.
considering just how his character was in Black Panther, like that kind of vibe is something that like would fit Static Shock perfectly.
Yeah. It's
So
kind of yeah, and like if with his connections, maybe he could get someone like I obviously Ryan Coogler's kind of busy, but like I mean, if he had the time, like you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
or like someone else on the team of Black Panther could like spear run it. So like that, anything like that would be awesome.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, like that. It's one of those movies that like is interesting that they're picking to make a Static Shock movie before a Green Lantern, or or bigger
Yeah.
name movies. But like, yeah, make
Yeah.
Static Shock.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess this kind of goes more with this. Just make good movies. Don't have to make it all they connect and all that. I think that's kind of what they're continuing to go with
Yes.
because a lot of people in this demographic did kind of see that show growing up. So it's like, yeah, let's see him on the big
Yeah.
screen. Why not?
Like, how old is Michael B. Jordan? He's like early 30s, right?
I think so. I don't think he's. I need to look that up, but age. Yeah, 33. So like early 30s.
He
Which honestly,
absolutely
man,
grew up watching the show like that.
Yeah.
Like who
Oh,
knows?
100%. He knows.
a
And
teen,
he's a
yeah.
big like anime cartoons fan too, so like I would be shocked if he would
Eh.
hadn't actually like watched it.
It especially since this movie was kind of rumored at the DC fandom. It was like stealth announced, but like to the point where like we're not even sure if it's happening, but like here's something we're thinking about doing. And the fact that Michael B. Jordan just like, yeah, I'll attach myself to this. Like that clearly shows a passion for this character, a passion for the idea of this movie existing. So
Yeah.
yeah, it might be a few years out, but like it's happening. Great.
Oh yeah.
A movie I wish wasn't happening. that
That like intro alone, just like good gracious.
that freaking Monster Hunter movie. Oh my goodness, that trailer. Just have you seen it?
I have not seen. Is it that bad?
Okay, so why do movie studios insist on if they're adapting a cartoon or sometimes comics or video game? Why do they insist on doing the stupid thing of we have this super creative world that the source material is based on? Let's just take a human and throw them into it, or vice versa, and that's your movie. Like, that's so dumb. You already have the world of Monster Hunter, where these people have evolved and equipped themselves to specifically take down these monsters. Like, this is a really, really cool, iconic world for the people who have played the games. Like, yes, it has happened in past Monster Hunter games where real people have transported into this dimension and then they kind of adapted to living there. But those are just normal people who were like trapped there, like basically like an isekai anime where they had to like, or they trapped a different dimension and had to like kind of learn how to get more powerful so they could escape. Like that, sure, whatever. But why did it have to be stupid military, like guys with machine guns and Hummers? Like, that's so boring.
It kind of reminds me. It's kind of like Transformers, but with monsters instead of giant robots. It's kind of just like.
But it's even worse than that, because at least in that movie series, they at least kept it like they're just in a distant planet and they came here. Here, the military guys are just in a desert, and then this desert storm happens, and then all of a sudden they're in the Monster Hunter world, and like I would have. I honestly feel like I would have hated it less if it was just like like they're in this desert or something happens, and they fall into like they get like fall into quicksand or something, and they do something and awaken this like rune that like awakens all like kind of like a Pacific Rim type situation where they're like
Hmm.
all these monsters are awakened around the world and they have to go fight them. I would honestly be less mad at that because it, at least that shows that like you know what you did was you know you can't do anything creative with this world, so you're just gonna try to bring Monster Hunter, but it's our world. At least how do like at least it's more of an like your own creative, not even really creative, but it's it's at least like an adaptation that way. But here, you acknowledge that the Monster Hunter world is so cool that you have to bring real people there. Like, instead, you could have just started in there and just done the story there. I don't get
Because
it.
you have to make it relatable. Because everyone who goes to the movies used to be in active combat. But I don't know. Like,
Also, speaking of people who are going to see this movie, the only people who are going to even want to see this movie are people who played the video games.
and it's nothing like the
Nothing like the game. Yes,
and that's why these video game movies always fail because they make them. They're trying to change it to appeal to a different audience, but the different audience isn't really that
like
interested because they don't know what it is.
the
And then,
only other audience who could possibly want to see this movie is people who loved to hate the Resident Evils franchise that the guy and the main actress did. So it's like, oh, I love to hate those movies. This movie might be that same kind of so bad it's good, so let's watch it. Like, no one's going to be watching this movie for the right reasons.
oh my gosh.
And, like, yeah, in the trailer, they did have some people, some actual Monster Hunter people, with, like, actual, like, monster crafted bows and great swords and stuff. So, like, the concept of monster hunting in the traditional sense will be there. And the last shot of the trailer is the main actress lady with like in the armor with a big sword running up against the Rathalos, which is like the big like main dragon guy from that game. So you at least know that they know what they should be doing. And
More or
that's
less.
honestly a little more frustrating than just completely whiffing it.
I'm looking at some of these YouTube comments, and one of them says, "This is basically Call of Duty Monster Warfare."
Yeah.
It's just, like I can't even no. And honestly, this is the kind of stuff that just makes people lose hope in video game movies because they're not committed to the lore or the idea of the game that made it so cool in the first place.
Like, trying to think. So I haven't actually seen the Sonic movie. I've seen a lot of clips. I've seen a lot of reviews of it. But that movie was generally favored pretty well. And that movie also suffers from a very similar kind of like core issue of general adaptations where Sonic starts in one dimension and then he's transported to a different one and needs to get back. I think the reason why I'm not as upset about that, it's still dumb and just kind of weird, but like that they've done that in the show and I think one of the games before. I think that game wasn't good, but like the lore of Sonic has allowed for him to go like to live with people before.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Dr. Robotnik existed on Earth when he got here, like it's not that Dr. Robotnik followed him, he was already here, and that kind of I don't know, I just feel like that's just cleaner than taking military people and throwing them into Monster Hunter world and being like, oh no, our guns don't work in that thing. If your guns don't work on this thing, why does that guy's bow and arrow? Like that just ruins the whole like idea that I don't know, like the idea that guns like in theory are supposed to be like the great equalizer, yet these people can just like craft these weapons out of monster bones and stuff, and they're apparently better than your guns. That I don't like it.
But yeah, I don't really get it. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of just wish they would kind of just go with it. Just like, all right, we're in this world, let's roll with it. Like,
Hmm.
don't, yeah, oh yeah, teleport these military. Like, why? What does that really
I
add?
don't know.
Like,
It doesn't. It literally adds nothing. You can still have these same actors just be in the Monster Hunter world. And it can still be a bad movie, but at least you're closer to the source material.
mm-hmm.
Like in Resident Evil, none of the characters, from what I remember, none of the characters are named characters from the games, but at least they are fighting zombies, and the main antagonists are at least named Umbrella, so you're almost there. Like it's still bad, but at least like you understand what you should be doing.
Yeah, you kind of get the idea
Yeah.
across.
But here they're just no. It's just I don't know. It, I'm definitely not seeing it in theaters, but it I hope is just like just brain dead garbage. Like so bad. Like I don't know. I don't want it to just be meh. I don't want it to just be annoying. I want it to be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Because like if I get confirmation that it's actually one of the worst movies I've ever seen, I'm not going to see it in theaters. But I am for sure like once it comes, once I can obtain it, by other means. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know.
but yeah, it's like I don't know. You just like you just kind of look at it, you're like, this looks like it might be a dumpster fire. Everyone in the YouTube comments, this is gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
dumpster fire. Thinking about other video game movies that do this kind of thing, this hey end up being dumpster fires.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is not going to do well. And like of all times for there to be a bad movie, I feel like now's not the time
No.
because I know we said whatever the first movie back out is gonna get viewed regardless, but if it's this bad, it'll be like become a meme
Yeah,
for
I
how
think it's
bad
been
it is.
delayed to April. It's going to come out in December, but that's no. It's been delayed to April, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, the reason why bad movies can exist is because there were other good movies around. Like, some people go to a movie theater literally every single day. Like, that is just
Yeah.
some people's. A, there's some people's jobs, but B, some people's just. That's how they relax after a hard day of work. They go to the movie theater, buy popcorn, just comfort food, sit in a dark theater for 2.5 hours, just watch a movie. The reason why bad movies can exist is because if you're already surrounded by 3 or 4 other great movies every month, by Friday you're out of stuff to watch. So like you gotta watch,
Right.
whatever bad movie's out, just as to spice it up if nothing else. Like, but if there's no movies out, if they were to actually come out in December before Wonder Woman, like it doesn't make sense to come out now. Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, it. Yeah, I have no idea how this is gonna work out, but yeah, not super promising. I'll
No.
tell you that much. But
Uh, well, if it does actually come out in December and you did want to go see it, but in a safe environment, you can now rent out an entire AMC movie theater room for $99 for a whole day.
really,
Yeah,
that's it?
yeah, $99 for you and
And I
however
play
many
what?
people you want. You can just rent out a whole theater room and watch. I don't know. I don't know the restrictions of what movies you can watch, but just from what I read, AMC is allowing people to just rent out an entire movie theater for a whole day for $99.
Honestly, that's a great deal.
How many?
If you could watch whatever you want, I mean, that would be awesome.
Let's say each. How much tickets? Just like a matinee, is that like $12?
Maybe not even matinee. Probably not even that much. Honestly,
Okay,
probably
well
like
let's
eight
go
or
like high
something.
end. What's like the high end? Like 15?
Yeah, probably like 15 or so.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's just say 100 divided by 15.
still pretty
Well,
good.
that's
It's like what, like six
if
movies?
you bring either if you bring more than 6 people or if you watch more than 6 movies. Yeah, that's your money right there. Just
Yeah, I
just
think that's a solid. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I could see like get a handful of friends and just like, all right, let's just watch a bunch of movies,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, in the movie theater with the nice reclined seats and
Mm-hmm.
all buttered popcorn and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go for that.
That.
Interesting. Yeah. And it would feel good to be back in a theater too,
Yeah.
even if it's not like for real. I don't
It,
know. That's a pretty good deal. I wonder if that's gonna gain any traction though.
it definitely it's a nice alternative. Like if movies do start to open up, but people aren't super comfortable with actually watching movies,
Hmm.
then this kind of solves both problems where you and a group of friends who have been social distancing and like you'll be safe watching a movie, you'll know that you'll be safe in a tight box for 3 hours with you and 10 friends. When they come to watch a movie, you give them $99. It's enough to keep the lights on at least for a couple hours. Like
Right.
if enough people do that, yeah, you can still show movies like that. Just kind of, yeah, I think that kind of cool. I feel it can only
Yeah.
work right now when there's no one watching movies. Once like the places completely open up and movies are being
Oh
shown
yeah.
on the hour every hour and everything is packed, you can't really do this. But right now, like through December, like if they're still doing this in December and Wonder Woman it actually does come out but it looks like it's not going to be super safe yet. It's it seems like a good idea.
Interesting. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I really do like the idea of this, like, an open theater. But yeah, I think as long as movies, things staying the way they are now, like, yeah, 100%. But
Mhm.
we'll see. But
Yeah.
man,
So yeah, one last little bit of news. This is gonna be real quick.
hmm.
Uh, there's a spider cat in Miles Morales.
Yes, I did see that. He has a mask and
Yes.
everything for some reason.
I think it's like I don't think he usually has it, but there's a special skin that he can wear that has a cat that just like attacks people, and it's great.
Yeah. It's like part of the like combo takedowns or whatever. Like you hit him and the cat comes in and like scratches the criminal or whatever. It's
Hmm.
kind of like, all right, all those extra powers. But yeah, the cat's really the thing that did. Not the like viper sting or whatever it is. Like not the freaking cat. But hey, whatever it takes. I don't know.
Just
I
yeah,
I am
it's
excited for that though. I mean, that game looks good.
mm,
And just it looked good to see like a Spider-Man game with new content because like I don't know, just the one I love the Spider-Man game, but I don't know for some reason the replayability just did wasn't there for me. I don't
because
know
you
why.
started on the highest difficulty.
Well, yeah, but like it because the combat's very Batman
And then you got
Arkham-esque.
none of the DLC, so you really only have yourself to win.
Okay, that's true. That's my own fault. But to be fair, like I'm not. I don't believe in paying money for a game I already bought.
That's
Extra
fair. Yeah.
money for a game I already
Yeah.
bought. $60 worth of. So that is on me. I understand that.
Hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe because I don't know. I feel like the DLC is still like kind of expensive. I don't know. I haven't bought it yet, but
I know that if you get the Ultimate Edition, which you shouldn't because they changed Spider-Man's face for some reason.
no, no.
If you got that, it comes with
Oh,
all the DLC free with it, and I think you get Spider-Man PS4, PS4 on PS5, and Miles Morales. I think for $70.
that's actually not bad.
Yeah, I think they're selling Miles for 50. So then you basically
Okay,
get the remaster for 20. Yeah, but you can't get it.
interesting.
You can't get the remaster without getting Miles Morales. You can get Miles Morales without the remaster, but you can't get the remaster without Miles Morales.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that though. Yeah, I want to get that. I want to get the remastered. I'm kind of okay without just because.
Mm.
Yeah, one that's why if it does bother me. I'm still upset. Like I understand some people didn't like it, some people like it, but I thought it was fine. I thought it was actually pretty good.
Hmm.
But it's whatever.
Yeah.
I don't make those calls. Just buy the game or don't buy the game.
They
That's all I can do.
apparently wanted to make apparently wanted to make Peter look closer to Yuri Lowenthal, the actor who played him, but like even Yuri Lowenthal was like, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I want that.
His face just looks so like stock
Doughy.
animation. Like
So yeah.
nothing to him. Like they originally had like the messy hair, but also kind of like the cheery look. But also you look at he's older, so like not like a 5-year-old. Like it was a good mix. Here he just kind of looks like a really tall 12-year-old.
Yep.
And it's kind of creepy. I don't know. It's like those kids who you swear are like, "Hey, how old are you, man? Are you like in high school?" "Oh yeah, no, I'm 11." You're just like,
What?
"Wow, you were like 5'11" at 11 years old." You know, I play basketball. Good for you, kid. Like, all right.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Spider Cat. Good. Keep. Yep.
sure. Why not? Let's go with it.
Now, time to play a little game that I introduced last time, and I think you're gonna stick with this name. It might change next time. I don't know. Roll call.
I like it.
So this time, we're both gonna be playing. I'm gonna start with one thing that you're gonna need to list at least 10 things out of. I'll make worse in a second, and then you, and then once we're done with that round, you go with me, and then we both have 2 rounds each.
Okay.
So, first off, can you name at least 10 Batman family villains?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So obviously, like the Joker, Harley Quinn, Two-Face, the Penguin, Scarecrow, Croc, Bane, Ra's al Ghul, not Ra's, Ra's. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. The Clock King, the Condiment King, the Ten-Eyed Man. I think that's 11, but we're gonna keep going because I've been watching the animated series. If you can't tell.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Actually, I'm take one off. Clock King, I think, started as a Green Arrow villain.
Oh well. Okay. Fine then.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, he's under the recurring villain category, but it's not. He didn't start as a. So yeah, I forgot to start that off. Like, for example, in Batman: Brave and the Bold, Gorilla Grodd was a pretty major villain of that show, but he originated as a Flash villain. So we'll do primarily Batman family villains.
Okay. Most of those are still okay, but who else? Okay, so now Black Mask, there's one. The Riddler, I can't believe I'm missing that one. That's an obvious one. Who else? Professor Pig.
Yes.
Firefly. Mr. Freeze, another obvious one. There's so many obvious ones. There's a lot of there's a lot of big ones that you forget about. Poison Ivy is another big one you forget. Yeah. Dude, Batman is so busy, man. This is not okay. Those like 7 like S tier villains almost in terms of dangerousness. Like
yeah, like it's stupid. Like, after watching the Harley Quinn show, I'm like, how does Batman compete with Poison Ivy? That doesn't make sense to me.
Right, and like just one of them, and like you know what I'm saying? Like any one of like there's like 5 to 10 villains that could be like the ultimate villain for other people, and Batman's like, oh yeah, it's just Thursday. Like you know what I'm saying? Like what's up with that?
Like Poison Ivy could easily take down Superman if she really wanted to. Like
no,
not easily, but like you know she has that like
she could make an argument. You know, you can make the argument. You know, you can make the argument for all these villains, and like you're just like. And Batman has like all the like D-list villains too, like Maxi Zeus.
Yeah.
Like oh my gosh. Did you see what he made him in the Harley Quinn show?
Oh man.
Like, that was so bad. I was just like, oh.
Was he just like really strong? Is that his thing? Like,
I mean, like his original thing is like he somehow thinks he's like a descendant or like the reincarnation of like actual Zeus somehow, and he has like some kind of laser cannon that he thinks is like his lightning bolt. But yeah, he's just like some crazy deranged dude. Like he has no.
Okay.
He's just a weird guy. Yeah, I think that's all I can think of. I think that was pretty good.
Okay, but... yeah, that was pretty good. There's a couple of others. Victor Zsasz, Kite Man, Owl Man,
Oh yeah.
KG Beast.
Hmm.
There's one other on here that I.
Oh, Red Hood. I didn't think about that. Well, does that count as a villain or a hero?
Eh.
I guess it depends. Yeah, it's more of a hero than a villain. Never mind.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was one other on here. Oh well, but yeah, he has so many villains.
Yeah.
You did good.
Okay.
My turn.
All right. So, can you name 10 separate clone troopers?
Oh no. Okay. This is okay.
You got this.
10. We got Rex. We got Cody. We got Jesse.
Yep.
We got
Yep.
Fives. Echo.
Yep.
Wolf.
Yep.
Heavy.
Yep.
Hang on. Those two that made friends with that little Twilight girl. The bad batch. I'll start with the Bad Batch because that.
There you go.
Wrecker.
Yep.
Oh no, I just had one. Tech.
Yep.
Waxer and Boyle. Those
There
are those
it
two.
is.
Those are those two.
There they are.
Okay, yep. I love it when like you're trying to think of something and it doesn't even press through your brain; it just comes out your mouth.
Yeah. You're just like, I know that. Yes, I did. Okay.
Tup.
Yep.
Is there like? Did I name all 5 of the ones on that outpost where like 3 of them died?
I think you missed one.
Okay, let's see. I said Fives, Echo, Heavy. Oh no. Did I already say one of the other ones?
I think. Hold on, I'm trying to go back to one that you
Echo,
missed.
Heavy. I said at least 10, so I'm good there. I just wanted.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah.
You're up to I think like 13, but yeah. But that was that was really good. I know you missed. I know 99 was like the first one I thought of.
Okay.
Like the older, like deformed clone. Commander Bly was like Ayla's like
right
secondhand person, and then there's also
Hunter.
Yeah, the other Bad Batch guy was like
Crosshairs.
Hunter.
That was the last.
Yeah, Crosshair and Hunter, the other two. But no, that was pretty solid. That was pretty good because I know, like, I thought of it and I was like, "Oh man, can I name 10?" I got up to like 7 and I was like, "Okay."
Commander Vaughn. He was there during the final arc and then died. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like Vaughn. There's Gregor, who was the one who got his memory erased or something.
Which one?
From the that was during some there was a bad like the droid arc with R2 and those other land droids.
I skipped that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, you did the right call. That's just one I remember. Because I remember that was like the only clone trooper for like 6 episodes. It was like awful.
Okay.
But no, that was good. That was good.
Oh, yeah, that was like if I hadn't recently rewatched through most of Clone Wars, I wouldn't have gotten most of those.
Yeah, no. Because you like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I think I can, but then after you like start, you're like, ooh, wait a minute. But yeah, it comes to you with time. It's pretty good. But no, that's why I like this list. You reassert. Yeah, I do know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm allowed to be on the internet and have opinions. Okay. Now time to test your knowledge of one other thing. Can you name at least 10 Spider-Man villains?
Okay. All right, so we've got my favorite, the Green Goblin. Mm-hmm. There's also the Hobgoblin. Yeah. There's Venom. Mm-hmm. There's Carnage. Doc Ock.
Those are the only Vulture. 2 symbiotes, by the way. You can only have 2 symbiotes. Go on. Sorry.
Okay, noted. That was the only 2 I can think of, so that's good for me. So yeah, Doc Ock, Vulture, Scorpion, Craven the Hunter,
Mm-hmm.
Morbius. Ugh. Who else was Spider-Man villain? Oh no, how am I at 9?
Think of the movies. Think of the movies.
Okay, I know. Oh, the Lizard. Duh, the Lizard. Where's that dog? How am I this bad? I should know
there
more
are
of these.
two others in
The
Amazing Spider-Man.
Kingpin! The freaking Kingpin! That's like the. He's literally the biggest villain. Well, Rhino. I don't even know if I said Rhino,
You have not said
but
Rhino. There was one other
right.
in Amazing Spider-Man 2 you haven't said yet.
Electro. That's
Yes.
right. Electro. Who else? There's like 4 villains in that movie, though.
There's at least
Who else is
3.
in that movie?
Well, 4 if you count that weird guy in the hat. I don't even know who that was.
Oh
He's
yeah.
like
I don't even
Mr.
remember
Oz or
that.
something. Like it. No. I
Yeah.
don't.
Oh, Hammerhead. Since you said, I don't know why Hat made me think of Hammerhead, but
Okay.
Hammerhead and Tombstone. I guess. Yeah, Tombstone.
Yeah.
Lonnie Lincoln. That dude. And oh no, that's not Tombstone. That's Yeah, it is. Is it?
What's his name?
Is it Lonnie Lincoln or something like that?
Let's see if I can find him.
I don't know where that name came. Maybe that is.
Oh no. Why can't I?
Yeah, that is right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I do. Yeah, Lonnie Lincoln Tombstone. Okay, I know what I'm talking about.
Cool,
Kind of. Okay, but yeah, that's. Oh, and that's cheating. I looked. Sorry. Sorry. There's Shocker was also like
Yeah.
other people I've searched for, but yeah, that's another one.
Mm.
I like Shocker. Shocker's
Yeah.
a very underrated.
Very
villain.
underrated. Like
Yeah, that's
his
a good
thing is that he has gloves that can shock people, but like,
Right.
yeah.
He seems like he's a pretty. He seems like a pretty. You know what? I'm
Mhm.
just a bad guy kind of
Yeah.
dude.
I don't
All
think
right.
you said Mysterio
No, I didn't.
Or-
The movie. Oh
or Hydro
no.
or Sandman, but I think that was
Those are good. I like how.
or
Like the
Big
most
Wheel. You
recent
didn't say
Spider-Man
Big
movie,
Wheel
I don't
either. I'm just
think.
pointing.
Yeah, no. You're like, the other movies. I'm like, I'm like, the most recent movie has at least 2 you couldn't think of. Well, 1, maybe 2 you couldn't think of. Like, come on. Okay.
When are we gonna get a movie with Big Wheel?
All right, now this one's a little different. This one isn't necessarily superhero related or
That's
like
okay.
otherwise. This is different, but I think you should still be able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Can you list 10 things that Phineas and Ferb either created or made big?
Oh wow. Okay, so basically what you're asking is, do I remember the climax of the Phineas and Ferb movie?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
They
So
did bring like everything back in that
Okay.
movie.
we got that big dog. We got the
Yes.
treehouse robots.
Yep.
We have obviously the roller coaster.
Yeah. Twice.
Twice. 3 times if you count Miles Murphy's Law, that cameo in there.
That's right.
We have the superhero outfit.
Mm-hmm.
The let's have a quiz. Let's make a quiz.
Yeah.
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 A quiz show.
Yeah.
The Haunted Mansion.
Yep.
Did they ever actually make a giant ice cream maker, or was that something Isabella said you should have made instead of the Haunted Mansion? No, wait.
No, technically they had the plans to make a giant ice cream maker, but those plans got switched with Doofenshmirtz, and he made the ice cream maker.
Okay.
And then they made a Death Laser. So
Right.
I'll give you that one though.
Okay. Sure, they made a spaceship at some point.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look at your shoes.
I'm not wearing shoes.
Never mind. I'm sorry.
Oh, they made a backdoor, like an outside theater thing.
Yeah.
That got
Yeah.
up and danced away.
It's what? It got up and
danced away. It got up and danced away. See, it even sounds crazy when you say it.
I love that show.
I'm having like flashes of different episodes, but I'm not sure like what exactly the intention was of that episode. Did they? The flying car of the future today, technically a dream sequence, but they still made it.
Yep.
That is 10, but I'll do at least 2 more. I hope. Did they make a teleportation device?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay. Swinter's Fall.
Yeah.
Outdoor Beach.
Yep.
They formed a band. Race cars.
Yeah. That was a big one.
Yeah. Robot Rodeo.
Robot Rodeo. Yeah, that is right. That was a good one.
I'm spent. That's all. That's
okay. That was good. Yeah, there's some you forget because they do it every time, and sometimes it's not even the main thing of the episode. It's just kind of thrown in along with like whatever's going on. But yeah, some other notable ones were monster trucks, the football X7 stadium.
When I said race cars, I like kind of lumped those two together. Okay.
Yeah, no, because I gave you race cars. They did also do race cars because they had that like remote control race car when Phineas is a racer or something. Which that's also an episode.
Yes.
It's one of the earlier ones.
Yes.
Yeah, there's the backyard beach. You said Swinter. I wrote that one written down. But yeah, pretty much those are like the main two. Yeah, that was good though. Mm-hmm. So, there's so many of them, but it's like they do it so quick sometimes you don't even realize. Like some episodes is literally just about how, wow, I can't believe what we had disappear, and they don't even tell you what it was. Yeah. The formula was so basic, but you just know it was something ridiculous.
And there was like probably over 200 episodes of that show, and the fact that I can only think of like maybe 15. There's so many.
It's so many. I just love like the person who made like the people behind this. Like every episode had to come up with okay, we need 2 things. One ridiculous thing for Phineas and Ferb, and another equally ridiculously thing for Doofus and Ferb. And somehow, one thing has to destroy the other thing in less than 11 minutes. And they do it every time. It's great. I love that show.
Oh, yeah. So, got anything else you want to bring up or discuss?
That's all I've got for today.
Okay. I do have one quick little thing.
Ooh.
So, as you can see, I got my voting sticker.
Hey.
Do it. Please vote. Do it. Just do it.
The lines aren't that long. I know you're thinking the line's long. I got in and out in 18 minutes. I timed it.
Yeah, like less than 20 minutes. Like it. I mean, some places are worse than others here in North Carolina. Maybe they're just not as busy, but like other places they might be. But like, we're not going to tell you who to vote for. We're not going to tell you how to vote. Whatever. Just if you can, if you legally can vote, please do it. Just please do it.
If not for the sticker, I mean, what you know, like you got it.
Look at it. It's a cool sticker.
It's a cool sticker. They're new. They're different from last time. Mine had an eagle on it. That felt awesome.
Nice. Yeah, like, yeah. Just please vote.
Do it.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. And with that, we'll see you all next time.
Take care, guys.